Good morning. My name is Jumaane and I serve as chair of the New York City Committee on Oversight and Investigation. I'm also the co-chair of the task force to combat gun violence. I believe that both of these issues, violence and better policing, go hand in hand and should be discussed at the same time. Thank you for attending this important hearing, and I want to give a special shout out to my mom, Patricia Williams, who's here. This is our first hearing since I've been elected to the City Council, so I'm glad you're here. This morning, the Committee on Public Safety will hear testimony on the Community Safety Act, which is a landmark legislation package that currently consists of 4 bills aimed at ending discriminatory policing, be it the misuse of stop, question, and frisk, or the surveillance of Muslim communities, and bringing real accountability to the NYPD. I would like to thank Speaker Quinn for her partnership on bringing these bills to a hearing today, as well as Chairman Malone for chairing today's proceeding. I do have to express my dismay that there will be no representation from the NYPD in today's hearing. New Yorkers want us to work together on these issues, and being absent is the opposite of leadership. Commissioner Kelly challenged this council back in March to provide solutions that would make our communities safer. We believe today's hearings addresses part of that solution, and it's a shame that neither he nor his department are here to discuss it. And the administration, unfortunately, has a tendency to not engage in these discussions. The administration that apparently can do no wrong, whether it's city time, the 911 reports, or the problems with the FDNY, do a lot of wrong, cost the city a lot of money. We would hope that they would engage in this discussion instead of the 5-year-old kind of temper tantrums of, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Well, you actually can't make me do it. We all want better policing and safer streets for every New Yorker. Everyone in this room shares that goal. That's why it's long past time to address the disparate ways that this city is being policed and how it has not only negatively impacted hundreds of thousands of lives, but it has failed to make us safer as a result. There is no reason, none, that a resident of the Upper East Side should be treated differently or feel differently towards the NYPD than a resident of East New York. Yet that is the New York we live in today. And whether it came out accidentally, incidentally, or purposefully, the result has truly been a tale of two cities. I do not believe, nor does the majority of this council, which sponsors one or more of these bills, that we have to choose between public safety and civil rights. They work together, and we must prioritize both. Stop, question, is not the only thing we're trying to address. However, it is the most palpable policy that displays the problems within the NYPD. We do not want to stop policing. We just want to do better policing. And as mentioned in the press conference, there's been no correlation at all between stop, question, and frisk and reduced shootings. Even the mayor has admitted that. That is what the Community Safety Act begins to achieve for this city. It includes 4 bills, of which I am proud to be the lead sponsor. Intro 799 will protect New Yorkers' constitutional rights when being asked to consent to a search. It would create the functional equivalent of a Miranda warning for searches by requiring officers to advise people of their right not to consent when there is no other legal basis for the search, and to obtain proof from the person that the consent given is real, voluntarily or informed. Intro 800, which would prohibit the NYPD from bias-based profiling based on age, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, immigration status, housing status, language, or disability in addition to race, religion, or ethnicity. It would also create a presumption in the law that policing practices that have a disproportionate impact on protecting communities are suspicious, allowing New Yorkers to hold NYPD accountable and pursue injunctive relief. There is already an amendment that will be put in, is already drafted, that will take away the compensatory damages out of it, so it would not make it specific. We are all about injunctive relief, and that will not impede the police department from doing the job that we want them to do. Indeed, it gets to the root of the first bill that was passed, which was to prevent racial and other kind of profiling. And this says even if you do it accidentally, you still should have the same effect. If we want to get to the root of the problem, that's what this bill does. And while I love working with my colleague, Councilmember Malone, I think it is overstated the claims of funding and also the fact that police will not be able to do what they need to do. And in fact, it does not say they cannot use race at all, so that is wrong. If there is reasonable suspicion, if someone says a crime was committed and that person was white or black, and the description of what they're wearing, it can still be if there is illegal negative gang activity in a certain area, and they are primarily black, primarily Mexican, primarily white, and that is something that is using a part of the police work in a local area, that also can still be continued. What you cannot do now is use that information to stop every single black or Latino person who lives in the city of New York. Those are two different things. We want to continue and encourage good police work. We want our police officers to do great work that they want to do and not be pressured and forced to do lazy policing that is based on quotas. Intro 801 will require NYPD officers to provide subjects of law enforcement activity their name and explanation for the stop and written record of encounter, including information on how to file a complaint or compliment. Intro 881, sponsored by 30 council members and co-sponsored, prime sponsored by my colleague Councilmember Lamb, will create an office of the Inspector General to examine systemic issues within the NYPD and provide effective oversight with subpoena power to protect New Yorkers from abuse and misconduct. Today's proceedings will hopefully explain the need for each of these bills, as well as show the broad base of citywide support for achieving the meaningful reform that the Community Safety Act will begin to deliver, and I hope the administration will engage in discussion of the merits and the problems that are here, and I'm hoping to look forward to that. I encourage all New Yorkers to take part in the field hearings. I'm co-chairing with my colleague and chair of the Committee on Civil Rights, Councilmember Rose, later this month, to address the impact of stop, question, and frisk, one of the police issues that are questioned today. Just one of the issues that are questioned today, not the only issue. Again, thanks Speaker Quinn for working with me to make this a reality. This is an opportunity to get everyone's voice on the record. The first hearing will be held on Tuesday, October 23rd at the Brooklyn College Student Center beginning at 6 p.m., while the second will take place on Wednesday, October 24th at the York College Performing Arts Center beginning at 6 p.m. No matter where you stand on this issue, I hope you will take advantage of this opportunity. Finally, I must recognize the incredible work and dedication of thousands of advocates and everyday New Yorkers who have played a part in the construction of the Community Safety Act, especially Communities United for Police Reform, the New York Civil Liberties Union, 1199 SEIU United Healthcare Workers East, SEIU Local 32BJ, the NAACP, and the National Action Network. They are but a handful of groups that have shown true leadership and a true commitment to safety and justice. Again, thank you all for attending today, and let's move forward on better policing and safer streets. Thank you.